Everyone thinks you need a big email list to make money, but that's not true. When I first started email marketing, I generated over $18,000 in 5 days from a small list of 876 subscribers. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact email marketing system you can use to earn more money every time you send an email. Now, take a look at this. These are 19 emails in my inbox with the same subject line saying quick question. Why is this happening? Because people are over-relying on AI for their marketing, which makes them sound like everyone else. And repeating the same things as everyone else is the last thing you want to do if you're trying to grow and scale your business, right? But I perfected a system that lets me get open rates of over 54%, and the industry average is 21 to 22%. But even better, this system lets me get replies like this. You see, the system only works if you build a list with the right people on it. The right people meaning people who are willing and capable of buying your offers. Which brings me to step number 1, building your email list the right way. You see, I had a client 3 years ago that had a huge list of 300,000 subscribers, and I was foaming at the mouth when I signed this client because I thought the commissions I'd earn would let me retire. But most of his list was all from scraped subscribers, meaning he just had a robot scrape people's contacts without their permission. And the situation only got worse from there because not only did most of these emails go to spam from being scraped, but these people simply didn't read his emails because the content was primarily AI generated. Therefore, when I sent out a survey to see what topics his list was interested in learning about, out of 300,000 email contacts, only 7 filled out the survey. So the biggest lesson you need to know about building your email list is this. Quality beats quantity every time. You'll see people online flexing their big lists of 50,000 subscribers, but here's the secret big list owners don't want you to know. They don't get a lot of sales. A small list of quality subscribers beats a large list of terrible subscribers every time. But how do you attract quality subscribers? Well, you need the right kind of lead magnet. A lead magnet is a free gift you give someone in exchange for their email. But there's a new problem with lead magnets. What worked in 2025 is not working in 2026 because the old way of creating lead magnets is dead. I'm talking about using PDFs, courses, ebooks. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you finished a PDF, a course, or an ebook? It's been a while, at least for me. So if you look at my conversion rate for my old lead magnet, which was a mini course, it's pretty bad. But take a look at this conversion rate for my new style of lead magnet. What's the difference? The lead magnets that are getting the highest opt-in rates in 2026 are challenge lead magnets. Challenges create consumption by your new subscribers because challenges give people quick wins super fast, right? And they get results. And that makes them think, wow, this guy's free stuff is so good. His paid stuff must be even better. So if you can write 5 emails, you can build a challenge lead magnet to turn strangers into buyers in less than a week. Here's how to get started. Step number 1 is going to be knowing your customer better than they know themselves. You got to do your research. When you market to everyone, you market to no one. Get specific. Is it a doctor, a lawyer, people that juggle chainsaws on unicycles in the streets? Doesn't matter. Just pick one. And then find the biggest problem they have. That's step number 2. The old way was just digging through Facebook and subreddits and trying to find people repeating the same problem. But the new way, I just have AI deeps research your customer's biggest pain point, and then you can get it faster. AI is a great tool for searching the internet and taking all of people's problems that they posted in public and putting it into one place. Step number 3 is creating 5 bullets that are solutions to solve that problem, right? So for example, day 1, I would just write, how am I going to remove the first obstacle? Day 2, give them a foundation. Hey, here's this tool you should use to solve the problem. Day 3, show a secret tactic. Day 4, reveal your methodology, etc. So step number 4 is going to be just writing 1 email for each. Schedule the first email to be sent immediately after someone signs up, and then you just schedule the next 4 emails of the challenge 24 hours apart. Now you might be thinking at this point, cool, Parker, but how do I actually write these 5 emails? Well, I'll show you that in a couple minutes. But first, we need to talk about how to get people to sign up to your email list. Because you can have the best challenge in the world, but if no one opts into your page, no one's going to read it, right? So take a look at this ugly opt-in page that takes me 5 minutes to set up, but it converts at 40.9%, which is like 10% higher than the industry average. So how to increase your opt-in page results is just these 2 things. Using a big green button, because that means go, but even more important is using the button text and putting in the text, yes, I want result or benefit that your lead magnet gives. So now you know how to attract visitors and get them to sign up to your list. One of the best strategies to get more traffic to your opt-in page is with social media, but there's a dark truth about growing your list on social media. The platforms don't want you to promote the link for your opt-in page because every time you post a link on social media will actually deboost the visibility of your link, right? So you spend hours creating content, the lead magnet, sharing value, and then when you drop the link for people to sign up to your email list, nothing happens. But after generating thousands of leads from social media, I made a simple strategy. And this strategy helps you get link clicks to your social media without being deboosted. Here's how it works. Number one, comment on 5 to 10 posts before you post your own content. This wakes up the algorithm and starts showing your profile to other people. Then you post your content. Reply to every comment on your content because the algorithms reward that you're building a community. They see that people are coming back. Wait like 10 to 15 minutes and let that engagement build. Then comment under your original post with a call to action showing your opt-in page link. So here's the copy that's working for me. You can take a look here. And if you check it out, this got 1,800 impressions in a day, which resulted in around 15 email signups. Don't forget to put your opt-in page in your social media bios as well. So when people look at your profile, they can see your lead magnets and sign up. Do this for 60 to 90 days and you'll start building up a solid lead flow. But that's only half the battle because you still need to write emails that sell. So here's how I use the angle technique to create dozens of proven email ideas without staring at a blank screen. You see, an angle is like a moving camera around the same subject. You have the same topic, but a different shot that creates different feelings, right? So here's what I mean. Take a look at this one idea, the best way to get result. Now, an angle lets me reframe this in 7 different ways. The best way to get result, the worst way to get result, the 80-20 of getting result, how to get this result in a little amount of time, double your result in amount of time, boost your result by percentage in 24 hours, the exact steps I took to get result. So you learn how to guide your reader with angles to get the same result in 100 different ways, and you'll never run out of powerful ideas. By the way, after A/B testing thousands of emails in the past 4 years for every niche from finance to fitness, I built a swipe file with over 100 proven angles, subject lines, hooks, and templatized them for you so that you have 100 proven ideas, angles, hooks, all at the power of your fingertips. Click the link in the description below, enter your email, and I'll send the swipe file your way instantly. But now you've got great ideas. So how can you write emails fast to get sales without sounding like a car salesman? Well, by using my 5-finger email framework. So give me 2 minutes and I'll show you the 5-finger email structure that I use to write emails fast and generate sales. So finger number 1 is going to be subject lines. But what separates an email that gets a 60% open rate versus an email that gets a 20% open rate? Well, it's 2 things. A great subject line hints at a benefit and creates curiosity. 3 simple ways to increase your income. See how powerful that is? It's hinting at a benefit, but inducing curiosity. What are the ways? Another nifty trick to increase your open rates is using the word this in the subject lines. Like, this was crazy. You'll never believe this. I can't believe he said this. So here are some curiosity-inducing subject lines that'll persuade your readers to open your emails. Do this before bed to boost your productivity. This changed everything for my business. Stop doing this. It's killing your conversions. But how can you write a benefit-focused subject line? It's easy. Just be clear and direct about the benefit without giving it away. So here's some examples. How to double your leads in 30 days. Get your next 1,000 followers fast. Lose 5 pounds this week without starving. And one of the greatest subject lines, copy tricks you can ever use when you're in doubt is just telling somebody how to get a big result in a small amount of time. So congrats. You now know how to write subject lines to get people to open your emails. But how do you suck people into the email and get them to read the entire thing, even if the email is over 1,000 words? Which brings me to finger number 2, which is the hook. But most emails die in the first sentence. That means saying, hey, hope you're doing well. Quick update on our latest offer gets skipped, and just wanted to check in goes straight to the trash can, right? So here's one of the most seductive marketing tricks known to man to hook your readers fast and keep them attentive until they buy, and that's open loops. Let me show you how to use them. First, you're going to ask a question or hint at a benefit. So first, ask a question like, do you struggle with productivity? Then hint at a benefit. I've got a secret that could 10x your productivity fast. But before you reveal a secret, you want to divert from that answer by revealing a problem, right? So you divert by saying something like, but first, let me explain something to you. And then you want to go into detail about the problem. Being unproductive is killing your business. Next, you can roll and segue into providing the solution. Like, that's why you need my secret productivity hack called the morning window technique. Now you know how to use open loops, a simple trick to get people sucked into your email, but writing emails that get your reader to feel something is what gets sales. So how do you do that? Well, enter finger number 3, the story. Storytelling for your emails doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to make sense by following the simple structure: start, middle, where the conflict is, end, where the solution is. So all you have to do is write one sentence for each of these bullets like so. So for the start, you just write something like, 6 months ago, I quit my job and to start a business with zero savings. The middle, which is your conflict, I was $15,000 in debt staring at an eviction notice. End, the solution, that led me to discover email marketing, and 12 months later, I was able to make $18K from a launch. But if you use this little-known storytelling trick called in media res, which is Latin for start in the middle, you'll immediately introduce a conflict, thus holding someone's attention and eliciting motions, right? So it looks like this. You start in the conflict, you transition, then you go to the start, and then you show the end. Look how much better this story is with this simple flip. So I'm going to start in the middle. I was $15,000 in debt, staring at an eviction notice. Then I transition. Now, let me tell you how I got into this mess. And then I jump back into the start. 6 months ago, I quit my job to start a business with zero savings, and that led me into desperate attempt to discover email marketing. 12 months later, I made $18K from a single launch. So nobody cares about the beginning. They just care about the conflict and how it was solved. However, you need the beginning, the start, to tell them when and where something happens. So start there. Next is finger number 4, the lesson. The lesson is everything because it gives your reader a rewarding and engaging moment in your content, but the lesson needs to be congruent with your offer. If your offer and lesson aren't tied together or unrelated, readers are going to get confused and not buy, right? So there's a simple fix, though. You bridge these together by connecting the story to the offer with the lesson, right? So take a look at this. Story and then lesson. So you need to bridge those two together with a commonality. So I'm going to take the old story here. I was $15,000 in debt staring at an eviction notice. Let me tell you how I got here. 6 months earlier, I quit my job to start a business. That desperate attempt led me to discover email marketing. Now, use the lesson to bridge to my offer, right? So what's the lesson? Desperation forces focus. I didn't have time for social media strategies or conflict funnels. I needed to learn one skill fast, writing emails. So I focused on that and everything else became profitable. And now I can segue into my offer, right? That's why I created Email 365. It's the same system I use to turn my tiny list into $18,000 in 5 days. So now you've got the story, the lesson, the bridge, and your offer. But most people stop here and forget the most important part, which is, of course, asking for the sale. So this brings me to finger number 5, the call to action. Never use words like register or sign up because this triggers difficulty in the reader's mind. You want to use like words like get, grab, save, click. This boosts conversions to your sales because they show how easily the prospect can get results. So here's how to close your email after the lesson. The best way to end an email and encourage clicks on your call to action is to give something valuable for free. This shows the reader that they'll have to do more work, right? But words are very powerful. So instead, use verbs like get, grab, save, click to boost conversions because it'll show your reader how easily it is that they can get results. Which brings us to the call to action. This is the link that you provide to get people to click, and usually it goes to the sales page where the checkout is hosted, or it goes to an application where the reader can be qualified for a sales call. The call to action that works best for me and my clients is this, just arrow, arrow, arrow. So it's just click here to get your product and receive desired state, or click here to get transformation. Another example is this, click here to get the digital storytelling masterclass and master the most persuasive skill known to man. I have more CTA examples available for you in my swipe file in the link below. Make sure to check it out. So now you know how to write emails that get opened, read, and clicked. But did you know the most important emails you'll ever send aren't sales emails? They're the first emails that someone gets after joining your list. And what do most people do? They send a lead magnet and disappear for 2 weeks. They never follow up. And by the time they email again, the new subscriber's forgotten who they are. So that reader unsubscribes or marks you as spam. So that first email and that first week are going to be when your subscribers are the hottest, and you need to really leverage that to build a relationship, build trust, and then get more sales. And what do most people do? They send a lead magnet to their list and disappear for 2 weeks. And by the time the reader sees your emails again, they've forgotten who you are and unsubscribe or mark you as spam, right? So you want to have at least 7 to 14 emails that you can send once a day, every day, and follow this schedule. Immediately after somebody signs up to your list, the first email is the welcome email. And that's where you want to introduce yourself, tell your story, and provide the lead magnet and hint at what the next emails are going to give them in the form of benefits. 6 hours after someone gets your first email, you're going to want to send a follow-up email to make sure that they got the lead magnet and get them to reply. If you can ask them to reply, they get moved from the promotions folder to the inbox. So, after that, you're just going to send one email 24 hours later, 24 hours later, 24 hours later, 24 hours later, and so on. You want to have at least 7 to 14 emails you send once a day, every day, so use this schedule. Immediately after a person signs up in the first email, you're going to want to have these elements. A subject line with their personalized name on it, thank the reader for signing up, tell them you're going to give them the lead magnet in a second, but first you want to introduce yourself. Then you want to establish credibility. What have you done? Tell them why your emails are different from the other emails that they're going to receive. Explain the problem that your other emails are going to fix and the benefits that the readers are going to get in the following days. Then provide the lead magnets and make sure to ask the reader to reply. When the reader replies, it takes them out of the promotions tab and into the inbox, right? And this boosts your deliverability. And what I like to do is ask, what's the biggest problem you're facing now? Because when people reply, not only am I getting the deliverability boost, but I'm actually getting content ideas for my future email. This forces replies and gives you this flywheel of content ideas. Then sign off. But what about the rest of the emails? Well, just take your best performing broadcasts or daily emails, and whatever gets me the most sales, I literally just copy and paste it into the automation. And then that way I'm having my winning emails work for me while I sleep, right? So if I send one that's great, I just save it and put it in the automation. And over time, you'll have about 90 emails in this welcome sequence when people sign up that are your best performing, and you'll get a lot of sales. So now here's the next big question is, how often should I email my list? The answer is as often as possible. You'll post 5 tweets a day, but you're afraid to send 1 email a day, right? Now this brings me to the biggest question people always ask me is, how often should you email your list? As often as possible. People will post multiple times on social media, but they're afraid to email their list every day. And it's the same thing. You want to show up every day and build this relationship and show people that you're there. You won't annoy them if you write good emails. And the more emails you write, the better the relationships are, the more trust that you build. And even if you don't know how to write emails well, start at least with once a week and commit to a certain day and certain time and build up that habit. Now, if you want to know how to maximize sales from your email list without getting tons of spam complaints and unsubscribes, do this. The 4-to-1 ratio. For every email that asks for something from your reader, like in the form of a click, a sale, a reply, you give them 4 full of value in the form of entertainment or education. But I don't do this by sending 4 value emails a day and then sending 1 sales email. I send 4 weeks of value emails and then 1 week of hardcore sales emails, which are sometimes 2 to 3 a day. Here's what the schedule looks like. And this is my best performing schedule, so feel free to use it for yourself. But value, week 1, Monday through Friday. Value, week 2, Monday through Friday. Same for week 3. Value, week 4, Monday through Friday. And then on week 5, I will ask for sales by selling one of my offers and products, right? Now, there's a problem here that stops most business owners before they start. None of what I taught you matters if you can't get subscribers fast enough, because the longer it takes you to build your list with quality leads, the longer you're leaving money on the table. So how can you build a list the right way? Well, I made a video breaking down the 11 exact strategies I use to go from 0 to 8,400 subscribers. Without any theory, it's actual just guerrilla tactics that I'd use to scale my list with the right quality subscribers and not just a bunch of bots. So the same tactics I use. Make sure to watch this video next and check it out. If you like this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It'd be a huge help.